Same way, different life. The vast majority of people routinely understate the frequency of relationships that are emotionally detrimental to their well-being. Nonetheless, a significant number of people are unable to free themselves. I have worked as a marriage counselor for more than 40 years, and during that time I have witnessed a great number of cases in which one or both parties are trapped in an unpleasant marriage and feel as though they are unable to leave it. Family and friends frequently report feeling helpless whenever they make an attempt to assist. The majority of individuals eventually give up and walk away, leaving an emotional prisoner even more alone than before. My personal experience has taught me that gaining an awareness of the factors that keep people trapped in unhealthy relationships can arm them with the information and abilities necessary to break free. This is not a tale about being in a toxic relationship and being frightened to get out of it because you don't want to put yourself in danger. Alternately, in locations where there are few opportunities for economic or cultural emigration that are considered to be sustainable. If a person who is stuck in a rut can figure out what it is that keeps them there, they will have a greater chance of either coming to terms with their current circumstance or finding a way out of it. Why do individuals remain in abusive relationships? Here are 7 reasons. First and foremost, both pleasure and suffering. The benefits and drawbacks of a relationship are almost never equal to one another. Even if being in a relationship is typically fairly miserable, there may be fleeting moments of exquisite joy every so then that make it desirable to put up with the more frequent low points. These experiences, which can be of a physical, mental, emotional, sexual, or spiritual nature, are powerful enough to convince someone to remain in a relationship in the hope that the positive times will outweigh the negative times in the long run, despite the fact that they may not last very long or occur very frequently. The second question is, am I really need to accept this? Many people who are emotionally enslaved remain in their situation because they have convinced themselves that they are not deserving of something better or that they will never come across anybody who can provide it for them. It's likely that they've been in a number of relationships in the past that weren't healthy for them, and that they haven't yet found someone who cares about them and values them. They may not have been exposed to appropriate relationship role models during their childhood, or they may have been led to believe that the relationship they are now in is the best that they can hope to achieve. The third factor is known as familiarity. When people are young or inexperienced when they get married, they typically fall in love with someone who is a blend of both of their parents. This is especially true for second marriages. They have not yet completely severed ties with the versions of themselves that existed when they were younger. There's a good chance that a component of this familiarity is the distress they experienced as youngsters when they realized they couldn't alter their situations. They have been conditioned to think that there is no other way to live and that love and sorrow are inextricably linked to one another. If they lack the strength to face separation and let go of those limiting beliefs from their younger years, they may believe that they have no choice but to continue doing the same things they have always done because they believe there is no other option. Helping those who are helpless is priority number 4. Unfortunately, there are situations in which a person is aware that they need to end a relationship in order to save themselves, but they are unable to do so because of the potential damage that ending the connection could do to others. My experience has shown me that there are a lot of men and women who, out of fear for the impact that their divorce or second marriage might have on their children, would rather suffer through their own misery than put an end to the needless anguish that their situation would cause for everyone else. In countries where getting a divorce is either socially unacceptable or illegal, people regularly report feeling as though they are under pressure to make promises to their families. Or when they are advised that they are required to make their own beds, despite the fact that doing so may be awkward or inefficient for them. Contrary to the other numbers, this one is number 5. It is far more difficult to stop a toxic relationship when one does not have a solid social support network, especially if the relationship has been going on for a significant amount of time. A person who is struggling with the aftereffects of a loveless or unpleasant relationship may experience an overwhelming sense of isolation if they are cut off from their social networks. It's possible that some people will disagree with you and hold the belief that if one looks hard enough, they can always discover something better. It isn't always the case, to be sure. When someone relocates frequently, does not have the financial resources or other resources necessary to seek assistance, or is busy with other responsibilities, they run the risk of becoming disconnected from their network of care and support and may find it difficult to learn about the possibilities available to them. Number 6. Attachment. Someone who is addicted to drugs or alcohol, is out of work, depressed, has been through traumatic experiences, or who is alternatively unavailable and in need can make for an alluring attachment. This is especially the case if outside forces were responsible for the demise of a relationship that had contained feelings of love and joy. Individuals who had once loved them can have a hard time letting go of that love. They are in a precarious position right now. They are worried that their spouse won't be able to carry on if they decide to leave the relationship. It is possible that they will never be in a position to assist them, and if they remain in the conflict, they run the risk of being killed themselves. 7th on the list, insufficient available resources. Someone who has never had much to begin with may have a difficult time making do with less when they are first starting out. In order to split a house in half, you will need to invest a significant amount of money and be willing to give up some things that may be difficult for you to give up. At some point in their lives, everyone will have to settle for something less than ideal. It can be difficult for many people to make the choice between maintaining a level of comfort and ease of living or coping with the rigors of a life with much less. People commonly stay in unhealthy relationships because they are financially dependent on one another. Thanks for watching.